and tell me why he had hid the camera in his bathroom. So I'm like, okay, like maybe you know, you're doing like a dub smash or something. No, y'all, Jam Jam was recording his aunt undressed. What's up, guys? It's your girl B Nation. I'm sorry, I have way too much energy today. All right, hold on, let me explain what's going on right now. So today we have a restock. This is not just any restock. This is a popular, high demand product. Shut up, because you're gonna be here all night, okay? I don't know how long this is gonna take. I don't.
Our love will shine at the dawn of a brand new feeling. Just take your time when you see that the magic's on its way.
My animals are sleeping right now. This has nothing to do with the video. I just feel like I need to. My animals are knocked the fuck out. Look at this. Who's that creeping in my window? Who's that creeping in my window? Okay. He doesn't bite. I always try to make him bite me, but he just doesn't. So I'm gonna leave that there. And my goldfish, yeah, this is thing 1 and thing 2, and you know, he's completely albino now. I don't know what happened. Like, I like to tell myself that my goldfish is Michael Jackson reincarnated, sent here to protect me. And sometimes I like to tell myself that, you know, Moo, my cat, is like Michael Jackson reincarnated, sent it here to protect me because he has the white paws like Billie Jean. But, you know, it just sounds like I'm really lying to myself now that I say it out loud. But anyways, oh, alright, y'all, I have all my orders ready to set up and we about to get to packing. Excuse the shadows, we're just gonna chill in the dark. So I'm not just gonna sit here and pack this stuff. I'm actually gonna be telling y'all a story about how I got cheated on. And like, y'all, this surprised the fuck out of me. And before y'all start, no, it's not burning. So let's get to the beginning, because I feel like in order for y'all to understand like how crazy I was and where I'm coming from, I need to explain the whole story and start from the beginning. Because y'all gonna be like, all right, like, you did too much. Or y'all gonna be like, girl, you had no business messing with him, but shut up. So we're gonna start off by getting the names adjusted. So the boy who I got cheated on by, we're gonna call this man Texas. Texas, he was very full of himself. He was very confident, like at that age. Or, okay, hold on, I lied. He appeared to be confident. He was kind of the like type of dude who was quiet, but he was still like giving, you know? Like, he was quiet, but he was mysterious. And then he made you want to know him more. So I'm like, who's that? And let me give you a little backstory. Before I had started dating Texas, or even was interested into Texas, all my relationships have been long. Like, all my relationships have been like 1 year, 2 years, or like 3 years. So we gonna call this dude Jam Jam. Jam Jam was way before Texas. I used to talk to Jam Jam, and it got serious, and we started going out, and next thing you know, we was dating for years. But this dude really gave me trauma, because let me tell y'all what the fuck. I feel like it was my fault, like, for getting into a relationship with Texas after that, because Jam Jam messed my head up. So Jam Jam was like my first love. He was just always sweet to me. Once again, he was very quiet, y'all. Never get a quiet boyfriend. It always be the quiet ones. Like, when you're older, quiet is good, but when you're younger, bruh, quiet is not good. Don't go for the quiet ones, bro. Jam Jam, he was very sweet, he was very caring, and he was like, he had like very feminine mannerisms. I don't know why, but I like that about him, because he was he was feminine, but he wasn't to the point where it's like, oh, you want to be a girl. It was like, he was proper, and it just like excited me, like how he didn't curse a lot. He was very quiet, and every action he made was like very, like, he thought about it before he did it. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, I really wanted that in a boyfriend. So boom, me and Jam Jam get together, and our relationship was good at first, and then the shit started going on a rock. So like, we have formed this group where it was me, Jam Jam, Maya. Maya was so sweet. She was very smart and she was quiet. I don't know what it is with me going towards quiet people, because I was loud, I was an extrovert, but I kept going for the quiet people. In this friend group, it was me, my boyfriend Jam Jam, and then it was Maya and her boyfriend, right? Y'all, we used to be like bad. We would go to the movies together, we would go out together, like to the mall and stuff, and we was kind of like a, you know, a little friendship where it was like we always double date. And she's a very cool girl. Like, she's not really like with the drama and stuff. She was so cool, but back then I was with the drama. I was with the drama. So me and Jam Jam were dating and we got deep into our relationship. So I'm gonna tell y'all what turned me off to Jam Jam, because Jam Jam later ended up cheating on me. So the first thing that threw me off was like 2 years into our relationship, he stopped texting me as much, he stopped being as caring, and I was like, did I do something wrong? Like, is there something wrong with me? Like, am I boring? Like, maybe I need to get some more Jordans. Y'all, I was not smart back then. One day we were in school and I was like, Jam Jam, let me see your phone. Like, at first he was like, no, but I was like you got something in that phone? Like, so he gave me his phone, trying to act like he ain't had nothing in his phone, but he had something in his phone. So basically I'm like, okay. So I got Jam Jam phone and I'm like, oh, let me go through his pictures, not thinking nothing of it. I didn't think I was gonna find nothing crazy in there, and I didn't think, you know, he would cheat on me because we've been together so long. I'm like, why would he cheat on me? Like, we've been together so long. I'm so stupid for, well, I was so dumb for thinking time over anything. No. So Jam Jam had this private camera roll. I'm like, what is this? Like, it was, back then we did not have like private folders. It was like, okay, look, you take a picture of black after it and then it'd be the bad thing, and then you take a picture of black again, so if you look at it, it'd be like, oh, nothing's there. So that's what he tried to make it look like. So I'm like, I know what you're doing. So I click on it, and tell me why he had hid the camera in his bathroom. So I'm like, okay, like maybe you know, you're doing like a dub smash or something. No, y'all, Jam Jam was recording his aunt undressed. Jam Jam was recording his aunt undressed. Y'all heard me. Y'all heard me. Y'all heard me. Y'all heard me. His aunt. His aunt. His aunt. Okay. So I'm like, I didn't even like jump into insecure mode, because I'm thinking, yo, who is this nigga? Like, who is he for real, for real? So that really like let me off of him. So after that day, I didn't confront him about it, because I'm the type of person, if I see something I don't like, I know there's no fixing you. So I'm just gonna be like this. I'm just gonna back up. Like, I'm just gonna back up. So boom, I seen that in his phone, and it was basically like her walking in. She didn't even look for a camera. She didn't think like, oh, is there a camera in the bathroom? No, none of that. She literally just walked in and just started undressing really quick to go somewhere. Like, you could tell she was in a rush. So I'm like, ew. Like, I just know the camera's hidden. This is a grown woman and she don't even know she's being recorded. What do I do with this information? What do I do with this information, y'all? This actually, finding that in his phone really scared me. It really scared me, because I'm like, that's not even something you tell your homegirl. Like, you tell them that now, but back in the day, if you were to say something like that, they would look at me like I'm crazy. So I just didn't say anything, and I felt like I couldn't. I felt dirty after seeing that, and I felt like I needed to call the cops. I gave him his phone back. It was dismissal. I was in the car right lane. His little mama come pick him up, and I'm smiling like, but in the back of my head, I'm thinking like, hey, yo, you're weird. Like, one, I feel like you cheated on me, but this is way like more than that. Like, you actually have an issue. Like, this is weird. So that's what led me off of Jam Jam. So the end of the year came. I never told him about this. Even when we argue, I never threw this up in his face. Back then, I was the type of person like, if I argue with you, baby, I'm pulling the fire. But now I'm like, I don't know, I'm just much more mature now. But it's like saying these stories is kind of like waking up like a little part of me back then. So boom. So I'm like, oh my God, like, I would just avoid him. Like, what would you do after you see something like that? What? The end of the year came, and he gonna put the bomb on me saying, oh, I'm going to a different school far away. I knew his mom, I knew his sister. I went to little homecoming prom with this man. We're gonna make it. Our relationship can withstand this. No, this is how the relationship ended. So he went to a different school. We shared Instagrams, and I remember being at my kitchen table. Why would you do this? Let me log into Jam Jam's account, like, just to see, like, I know he doing something sneaky. He had a different school, like, he been acting weird. And also in the back of my mind, I'm like, I seen that video. I'm like, let's see what Jam Jam's doing. Tell me why all this girl liked his pictures. And it was new. Like, she was just following him. She just liked all his pictures. And I already knew how Jam Jam was. Like, he had that quiet dude. He was just smooth. Like, he was very, like, romantic or whatever. So I'm just sitting here like, I already know what he's up to. I'm like, you said it was gonna be me and you through everything. Like, you wouldn't let nobody come in between us. What is this, honey? So after I see that, I'm like, yeah, I know he's cheating. Boom. So at this same time, while Jam Jam is transitioning to his new school, I'm transitioning to my school. And this is how I met Texas. This is when hell began. Okay, Texas is crazy. That nigga is crazy. But I don't have no bad blood. It's just like, we were, back then we were crazy. So once I seen that, I kind of knew Jam Jam was cheating on me, and our little love died out. Even though I was super sad coming out of a relationship, I was super hurt. I felt very vulnerable, and it took a long time for me to get back, you know, in another relationship. So when I finally, like, it was like a couple of months. Like, I wasn't really healing, but it was back in the day, so I thought I was. I said, oh, I didn't cry about him in a week. Put me on. Like, I would text my friend, like, put me on. Like, back then, I would let a lot of people in my circle, but, like, I'm glad I did that, because I feel like I really got a good experience out of high school. I had really high highs and really low lows, child. But I have stories for days, because I was really living it to the fullest. Like, if I died once I got out of high school, I probably wouldn't have regretted anything, because I felt like I lived my high school, like, I lived my life in high school. It was crazy. So I went to my guy friend and I was like, cliche, we're gonna call him Cliche. I don't even know what that word, wait, it's not cliche. I know what the word means, but I'm not using the meaning of the word. So I went to Cliche and I was like, Cliche, like, do you have any bros? Like, I know you got some bros, put me on with somebody. So Cliche was in a friend group where it was all guys, but it was kind of mirrored to the girlfriend group. It was like our girlfriend group, it was the same amount of people, it was just guys. So I was like, perfect. Like, I can go out with one, my best friend can go out with one. Like, I'm thinking all this stuff. The other two already had boyfriends, and they never really dated anybody in our performing arts school. They only dated outside with the football games and those schools or whatever, both of them. So me and my best friend Sparkle, she had a boyfriend at the time. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm the only one who want to get put on. Like, who do you have? So he shows me Texas. Y'all, Texas. I was new to the school. This is my first year at the school. I was a freshman. We were all freshmen. Texas was a, what's that called? Texas was a junior. And at that time, it was kind of very popular to, like, be with the junior. It was really looked up at. Like, what's the word? Like, people looked up to you if you could pull a higher classman for some reason. That is so shallow. But yeah, that's just what it was. Did I give her he put me on with Texas, and me and Texas, like, we fell in love. We were infatuated. We weren't really in love, but I'm gonna just say in love. We fell in love pretty quickly, and we just, like, we would have deep talks, and I'll be like, I feel like I really know you. I feel like you've been the only part missing in my life. All the bullshit. You know, all the shit you say. You know all the stuff you say. Like, so we're gonna fast forward to, like, months down the road, because we were together for a long time, and I want to get to the end, because this is where I got played. Like, I didn't even expect to get played, because I'm like, this dude is quiet. Texas, he was very, how I say this, he was very quiet, and he was kind of like cute ugly. you know how dudes be like cute ugly, like they be light skinned and they have a little like lazy eye or something, but they but they're cute. They're cute because they're kind of ugly. Does that make sense? And this is no shade to Texas. Like, I don't even know what this man looks like now, but whatever. So at the time, we were all growing into ourselves. So I'm like, yeah, like at first his looks alone, I was like, I don't know about Texas. But his personality, when I realized like, whoa, he makes jokes, that sealed the deal. Like, I'm sorry, but if you can make me laugh, I'm here. So me and Texas bonded pretty quickly, and everybody would be like, oh my gosh, you and Texas are so cute. Coming down the hallway, the two girls that were in the little 4 friend group that I'm talking about, they would be like, okay, like they will finally start talking to me more, start noticing me more. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm doing something right. Like, I feel like I'm really getting my high school life together. Like, and y'all don't say that stupid shit to yourself, because high school, there's always gonna be something going on. Like, you ain't gonna have peace till it's over. Till it's over. Like, there is no getting on top of high school and crushing it. They would be like, oh my god, you and Texas are so cute. They would talk to me more, and I would be like, okay, I'm finally doing something right. Like, I'm getting on top of things. I'm getting on top of things. So me and Texas are together, and I noticed this girl, she's an upperclassman as well. She was the type of girl, we're gonna call her Sandy, okay? Sandy. I feel like that name fits her so perfectly. So Sandy was the type of girl where she'd be like, okay, like she was all shade, no tea. She was super cool to hang out with, and she was all fun and games. Like, she never wanted to fight. She wasn't on that type of time, but still she would throw shade, and she would just be like, okay girl, I see y'all. Like, but she was funny until you were the butt of the joke. While I'm going out with Texas, I find out that Sandy is Texas's ex, and I'm like, for how long? They're like, a year. So I'm like, whoa, like this changed everything in our relationship. This was months down the road, and I didn't find this out till later. I don't know how, but I really didn't. And this is probably how I got played, because I was, you know, trusting people. So I remember this one night that he was up really late, and he said, I don't feel good, I think I need to go to the hospital. So I'm like, okay, keep me updated. After he said that, I kind of went back to sleep, and I started thinking like, did you just go back to sleep? Wake up. Because he called me like really, we were on the phone and he woke me up. Wake up, like I don't feel good. And he was talking to his parents. Like, he stopped talking to me. He was talking to his parents. That's how I knew, like, whoa, he really don't feel good. Like, when you bring it to your parents, you must be really sick. So later on that night, they end up driving him to the hospital. And I remember waiting all night, stressed out, because I wanted him to be okay. I didn't know what he was dealing with, but he had some odd symptoms going on. So I'm like, okay. So earlier, I don't know if we found out. I can't remember if we found out that night. And I'm in my room while this was happening, but I was asleep. But after he texted me that, I was kind of going through this process with him, like mentally, or like I'll be on the phone with him. And basically, he got diabetes. And at that point, I was like, whoa, like this kind of changes everything. I'm not saying I'm gonna leave you, like, no, I'm not that type of person, but I'm like I know we're a play relationship, but it kind of made us more serious. We got closer together because we had like a serious experience. I realized like, whoa, like instead of me being like the fun girlfriend, always joking and like punching him and like playing around with him and like play fighting, you can't do all that no more. Because I'm not saying he's sickly, but you kind of have to change your gears. You have to be the girlfriend that's like, okay, did you take your glycerin or whatever it's called? I noticed he started pulling away. During this time, I was going through a lot at home. I was going through a lot with myself, and I was just going through it mentally like hard, because I feel like after he got diagnosed, or however you say it, after he got diagnosed with, you know, having, I can't remember if it was type 2. We just gonna say type 2, or because I don't know which one it was. But after getting diagnosed with like type 2 diabetes, he got impulsive. He became very impulsive. And I noticed like I was not his focus anymore. He would not be like, oh, look at my baby, she's so cute, like posting her and stuff. He head up somebody else's alley. Like, he was not stunting me. Like, I feel like this man low-key had a midlife crisis, bruh. So after that, I kind of was like very standoffish. I'm like, dang, like I already know this song, like I'm finna get played again. And he started acting very impulsive, and he started showing me like early signs that he was cheating. This is later on when I found out. I got super close to his homeboy. What did I call him? Cartier? Cliche. So this is where Cliche comes back into the story, right? So Cliche was my homeboy. We're super close, mind you. I already told y'all he's made sure I've gotten home from parties. He's came over to the house. Nothing like that. I didn't start shit. I had this friend named, we're just gonna use his real name. I had a friend named Nick, and he started a t-shirt business, but he gave up on it. I said, yo, like, are you kidding? Like, those shirts are hard. Give me those shirts, I'll sell them for you. You give me a cut. So me and Cliche was gonna split the cut because he was gonna help me sell them. Boom, we end up selling all those shirts. That's how I knew I was a little businesswoman back then. But we end up selling all those shirts for him, and he couldn't believe it. He was like, bro, what? Like, but he still didn't continue the clothing brand. But I was like, just believe in yourself. Like, don't give up on yourself like that again. He comes by, Nick comes by, he gives me the money, and boom, me and Cliche are talking, and I'm asking him all these questions like about Texas. I'm like, why is Texas pulling back? It's like, does he not like me anymore? Like, what does he tell you? Because they're in a friend group, they're all close. And I feel like I kind of put Cliche in a hard position because I was his homegirl and that was his homeboy. But my thing was, just tell me. Like, I'm gonna get mad, but I'm not gonna tell him you said it. Like, I'm literally just gonna leave it. I'm going to leave him. I'm not gonna give him like a why. I'm just going to leave him. Like, literally just let me know what it is. I'm not gonna put you under the bus. So yeah, so he finally tells me, like, all right, look, while you weren't at school, this and this has been going on. Not gonna lie, my heart dropped. Like, my heart dropped. Like, are you serious? Like, damn, like, how long did you know this? Like, I'm finna slap you. He was like, I mean, what you mean? Like, you know how, like, boys are. I'm like, Cliche, don't play with me. Like, stop. You niggaing out right now. Like, you're manning out. Like, come back to me. I'm your homegirl. Like, don't do that. Yeah, you're leaning towards your homeboy too much. So Cliche is telling me all the tea, and I'm like, all right, well, this is what we gonna do. Spy on him, and if you do it again, I'm gonna leave him. That's what I'm thinking in my head. No, if you do it again, I'm leaving. I feel like he told Texas something, because after that, Texas was on his best behavior. Like, Texas was on his best behavior. It only lasted so long though. So I remember I was missing school a lot. Like I told y'all, I went down a bad road with like addiction at a very young age, and it's made me very mature now. But I don't know how that happened. And I feel like, you know, most people aren't aware of this, but when you go to a regular high school, you're exposed to normal substances. But when you go to a performing arts high school, those type of parties, you have different races, they bring different substances. So it's very easy to be exposed to a certain type of thing. And, you know, your friends say, look, we all did it, like, you can do it, like, chill out. And you say, okay, you do it, and then you're hooked. Like, next thing you know, you're hooked. Like, you're stuck vaping, or, you know, I can't really say it on YouTube. I was going through that, and I had missed out school. And y'all, this is like what I remember can happen. This is when school started getting really, really bad. I remember I was in my room one day, and I was super depressed because after Texas had gotten diagnosed with diabetes, like, everything in our relationship changed. He became very impulsive, like I said. And I thought the issue was me. The issue had nothing to do with me. And I ran to those substances. I ran, y'all. I was too young. I don't know why I thought like that, but it just was what it was. I don't judge, you know. I just wish, like, I could talk to her back then and be like, it's not how you deal with your shit. It's not. It's gonna make it worse. You may have learned that from somewhere, but it's gonna make your problems worse. So I didn't really have that voice then and there, because the people that were around me at the time, they were supplying me with it. They were feeding this addiction because it was cool. It used to be very cool, but what they didn't know, that I was doing other stuff, and I was taking it out of, I was just, ooh, how do you say it? I just took it out of, like, order. And one day I remember somebody had gave me, I'm not gonna like use names, I don't like using names when it comes to that stuff, but because you know we were all young, and you know I don't blame anybody, I don't hold any grudges, because we're all like undeveloped brains and we're just learning. So somebody gave me a bag of grass, and it was a little bag, and I thought that, oh, I'm gonna take this bag of grass and these painkillers, I'm gonna eat it. I used to eat grass. Like, I used to eat grass. I used to get, like, y'all, it really gives me chills, because it's like we're night and day. But you know, everybody has a backstory, and it's no need to be ashamed of it, because stuff happens, and the realer you are about your mistakes, the more they can be corrected. Before I went to school, I decided to eat painkillers and grass, and just go to school. So I would hide, like, I feel like grass was accepted at that age, but when it came to painkillers, you know, that was not accepted. So I would always hide it, and I would have my own world. Like, it's like I would be like two completely different people at home. Like, I feel like this story, bro, my life was so deep that when I tell one story, it ends up like telling other stories. So boom, so I go to school, and I pop the painkiller, I eat the grass, and I go to school. And I remember, like, stuff started to look crazy. Anyways, blah, blah, blah. The ambulance came, and I didn't overdose, but well, yes I did. I kind of overdosed myself at school, but I didn't die. I was just like crazy out of my mind. Now if y'all want that story, I can tell it to y'all, but yeah. And that's when stuff started getting crazy. Like, after that day, my whole high school life changed. Like, I felt like everybody knew my secret, like that I wasn't okay. I would always act like I was okay. I would always make everybody laugh. I would always be up in everybody's face, like, haha, like, it's gonna get better, like, it's gonna be okay. But I had my own stuff going on, and I would think that, oh, if I lean on other people, no, if I let other people lean on me, they're gonna let me lean on them. That is not how it works. Sometimes people will rant to you or will always ask you for things, but they'll never give you anything in return. In a relationship with Texas, I was still kind of in and out of a relationship with Texas because he was cheating, and he was cheating with the girl, and it just upset me. I was like, bro, on top of everything I got going on, it's like you're gonna pull this, and you're kind of like the only person I have right now. Like, are you kidding me? And it just made me so impulsive and just rage. So he ended up cheating on me with Sassy. Did I call her Sassy? Bitch, I call her Sandy. So he ended up cheating on me with his ex, Sandy. And I was like, bro, are you serious? Like, it literally drove me through the roof. And you know, he was like, he called me one day and he was like, look, I feel bad. Like, I feel bad that I cheated on you. And my bad if I didn't go into detail about like the whole cheating situation, because child, I don't remember it. Like, all I can remember is they did some stuff in the band room or something. They were sharing a water bottle. Like, it was stupid stuff like that. It was dumb stuff. But I had my own stuff going on. So I literally, like, sometimes my brain would just shut off. Certain memories shut off, okay? So, like, especially if I had a lot going on at that time, I would focus where I wanted to stress, if that makes sense. I'd be like, okay, I got this going on at school, I got this going on too, and I got this going on. Which one I want to stress about? So, yeah. So, if it didn't make it on the meter, I didn't remember it. So, yeah, basically, he cheated on me. And I was like, are you serious, bro? Like, is something wrong with me? Da, 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 da. Boom, he calls me one day and he's like, I'm so sorry about what I did to you, and I feel like I just did you wrong, but I still love you. I just love her too. I can't have the both of you. And just hearing him say it just broke my heart, broke my little high school heart, because I felt like that was the only person that I could trust, that I could confide in. Oh, thinking back at it now, it sounds really sad. Like, now I'm kind of like, at first I used to think like young and dumb, but no, that really feels like a sad situation. So yeah, so that happened, and I said, can I ask you one thing? Like, why her and not me? He said, it's because, like, he compared our bodies. Like, I was like, yo, like, I wish I never asked that. Wish I never asked that. He was like, because she has this more than you, and we just have chemistry. We go back farther, and what we had wasn't done. And I'm like, why would you even say yes to going out with me? Like, what's wrong with you? You asked me out, and she does this for me, da, 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 stuff that I wouldn't do. Because I'm like, at that age, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. Oh, but if you do this, I'll stay. No. No. I don't know. Like, I didn't have my head on my shoulders for a lot of stuff, but that I did have a head on my shoulders. So I was just like, yeah, nah, I guess, you know, I wasn't the one. And I was very sad. I was very upset about it, because I felt like that was my safe person, especially at school. Because once I started going through a hard time, me and this friend group started, like, not having beef, but I started distancing myself because I was going through it really bad. And they looked at it like, why are you being weird? Like, they didn't understand. After that phone call, I just sat there in silence, and I was like, dang, I lost something so valuable. Shut up before you be like, no, he lost. Wait, because y'all not finna get the tea, damn it. So I'm putting y'all in my shoes at this point in time. I said, I lost something so valuable. Like, I literally was so heartbroken. And it's funny laughing now, because the cry wasn't even like, that cry said, yeah. So I started crying in my pillow, and I was just like, I can't believe it. First thing I do, run to the mirror. I'm changing this. I'm dyeing my hair. I'm better than her. Blah, 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 or whatever. And she would tease me like, oh, I got your man. Stuff like that, whatever. So, it was just hard. Like, it was hard as fuck. Like, I'll walk past her friends, and they'll be like I'm saying, I walk past Sandy's friends, and they would just be like, after that, I just checked out of school, because I was like, all right, stuff already going on over here, and y'all are doing this. I just checked out, and later on I ended up dropping out. Anyways, but let me tell y'all how he got his karma. Y'all know how people come out of high school and they be like, oh, I'm going to college. Like, they're very, like, in their ego, and they think like, yeah, I'm doing this, like, I want to be a football player. But I feel like if you don't have enough drive, you won't make it. And that's just life, you know. High school, in most cases, chances are most of y'all are gonna fail. I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm saying that because nobody told me that. Like, if I didn't drop out and, like, start working my ass off, I would not be where I am today. Like, with my business and all that stuff, like, with myself, I would not be where I am today. So I feel like when I dropped out, I later on went back to graduate and got my GED by myself. I feel like me dropping out gave me enough time to learn myself, learn my flaws, spend alone time with myself, so that when everybody graduated and got out of school, they were all confused, like, whoa, I didn't make it into the college I wanted to. What do I do now? Or I made it into the college I wanted to, but I'm not happy. So I feel like I got to experience that first, and I kind of got a head start, and, like, just started working behind the scenes, working. And it later came down to where, so basically that work paid off. Like, you know, yoga and working on myself and speaking out on TikTok, and, you know, my stuff just started to do well. Like, videos were getting views, and it was all happening overnight. It felt stagnant. It felt very stagnant for a while. Next thing you know, my life just changed. Like, financially, like, everything just changed. I just was on, like, a whole nother frequency, thank God. And yeah, so I was promoting for my business, you know, a normal day. Hey guys, shop the da-da-da-da. And I was like, all right, yeah, I gotta pack all these orders and I gotta do this. But I sat back and I said, I'm really proud of myself. Like, I'm super proud of myself. Like, look at the woman I've become through everything I've overcome. Like, anxiety, depression, like, by myself, pulling myself out of panic attacks. Like, I was so proud of me just to keep going, just for believing in myself. Like, I invested into my business and it's paying me. I was having one of those moments, and I get a ding to my phone. I'm like, the fuck, like, what is that? I don't check it that day. Because I'm sorry, but when I get on Instagram, I strictly get on there to post. I don't like Instagram. I'm more of a TikTok person. I feel like Instagram is more ego and TikTok is more fun. Instagram is like the mean girl table. So yeah, so basically I get a ding. I don't check it at that time because I'm busy, you know. I'm like, I call Brennan, I'm like, hey baby, what you doing today? Da, 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 da. Catch up with him, and I'm in a super good mood, like stuff is going well, and I go to sleep. After I finish promoting for my business, I get a couple sales and I go to sleep because I had a long day. I woke up early, got a head start on my business, and I crashed. And it's crazy, it's super crazy how he texted me while I was in this like reflection period, like in my mind, just like thinking or whatever. So something told me, like probably like 2 days later, I was on Instagram and I posted on my story. I was on Instagram and I posted on my story, and something told me go check that DM, because I'm just thinking it's someone from YouTube or someone from TikTok talking about the business. And I'm like, hold on, I'm not ready to be a Roaring Dory right now. Like, I'm tired, like I've been doing it all day. I look at the text and it's like, damn, what was the text? He texted me. I can't remember what the text was, but it was on some scamming stuff, right? And I'm like, at first, not gonna lie, I'm thinking like, dang, this person looks like a parasite. Like, mind you, I'm spiritual now. Like, I'm very into my spirituality. I'm very conservative with my energy, and I can clock negativity from far, okay? I have a strong spirit of discernment, just because what I've been through. Me and Brennan are very much like that. Like, our spirits of discernment is strong. We can sense when somebody's intentions aren't good, and we're here with it. It literally looked like someone who was like strung out on like not even drugs, just like grass. Like, their eyes were seeped in their head. Like, when I tell you I couldn't even recognize this man, I just couldn't recognize this man. So I clicked the message, and it had something to do with scamming, or like send me your Cash App or send me your Snapchat, some stupid shit like that. So he texted me, but I saw that he texted me twice. I'm like, what is this? Whatever. So I didn't really look at his face. Like, I didn't get a good look at his face because, like, I don't know, I wasn't thinking about that. And then after I read the message, I'm like, who is this? What is this? One of my cousins or something? Like, what is going on here? So I click on a profile and it's Texas, and I'm like, bro, what? Y'all, when I tell y'all I dodged a bullet. Can I say that one more time? I dodged a bullet. Okay? Like, y'all. Whew. I was like, dang, like, if I would have stayed with him, I would not be where I am today. And it's just crazy how the universe works, because I felt like that was God saying, he's not going where you need to go. We got to get him out of here. Like, it's going to break your little heart today, but I'm going to give you a king. I'm going to give you a king. And that's exactly what he did. So I just go on about my day. Next thing you know, I get a ding, another ding. So I'm like, what in the world? It's a card reading. So I'm like, what? So it was basically like, I subscribed to this one person. I think his name is like, what is it, Nicholas Ashbaugh or something. He's a card reader. I can't remember which one I listened to at the time, but he's a card reader, and he was basically like, and it basically was very short, and it said, you're the one that got away. I was like, bro, what? Like, why is everything being so insane? And I saw 333. I'm like, yo, like, this is getting weird. Like, it's crazy. And it was basically saying, like, don't go back and say like there's no need to right your wrong. Because immediately when I seen the profile picture, the first thing I wanted to text him, like, off impulse, was like, gotcha. You know, it was what, like, I don't know, like, it was so childish. That was my instinct, like, you know. But when my higher self came into play, I just said, just move with silence. Just literally look at it, don't say a word. And everything happens for a reason. Like, everything happens for a reason. Like, if you are in a relationship and it doesn't work out, trust me, literally trust me, it didn't work out for a reason. And down the road, you're gonna be like, dang, I dodged a bullet. God, you are good. Okay? You just have to clear your energy field. You have to cleanse yourself. You have to move on. You have to heal. I'm not saying move on like just get over it already. I'm not saying that. Take your time to move on. But, you know, you have to cleanse your energy field. You have to align yourself with what you want and make room for new. Like if you have to get rid of old clothes, or if you have to clean out your space, if you have to move, whatever it is, you have to make room for the new. And I'm telling you, God will bring you, it sounds like I farted. Whoa. God will bring you better. God will literally bring you better. You just have to listen to him. You have to let him guide you. And I know like that was like a confusing story, but that's just one of those things where it's just like you dodged a bullet.
There is nothing in your eyes, but that's the way